Hi, my name is Nick Phillips, and I'm a writer, actor, and stand-up comedian. Now, some people see me and they'll say like, wow, Nick, you're really tall. Do you like it? That's a stupid question. Like, the only thing that I hate about being tall is buying clothes. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm wearing prescription pants.
36 for 36 is brought to you by The Late Night Experiment with Motown Maurice. Subscribe today on YouTube.
So I started acting at 19 years old back in Dallas, Texas. Throw up the X. I don't think anybody does that, but whatever. So anyway, started acting back in Dallas, and it was fun. Like, I did all these great films, got to perform in all these really cool places, but really on film and doing theater. And I thought to myself, like, all right, well, cool, I can do this. Let's go to where like the mecca of entertainment is, and decided to move out to Los Angeles. At first, it was fantastic. I was in a new place. I was enjoying the environment, enjoying the scenery. I was auditioning a lot. I actually found my agent washing clothes at the laundromat. It's a true story. I was washing, and the guy next to me was represented already, and he was just like, "Yo, you an actor?" And I had no credits under my name. And I was just like, "Yeah, sure." And I met with my agent, and she was lovely, and I'm with her to this very day. So at first, it seemed like it was going great, and then after a while, I just got sick of acting. And it transitioned into this period where I started noticing more and more, the more I kept doing it, that I was kind of losing my artistic voice, losing my creativity. I started running into the business side of things, instead of just doing the student films, which were fun. But I think the biggest moment for me was I booked a web series, like a comedy web series about me dating this girl. And it was supposed to be just a funny 3 or 4 minute sketch. And so I'm going up against this girl, and I kill it. Like, we're doing like 100 or so takes, which is unheard of. But every take, I'm doing new jokes, new punchlines, or whatever. And I'm thinking like, yo, this is a reel by itself. This is awesome. And we fast forward to the premiere, and I see myself on the screen. There's like 200 people at the premiere, and all of my parts have been edited down to facial expressions. And so the director comes up to me, and he's like, "Oh, well, did you like my project? You know, I worked really hard." And I said, no, this was awful. And he's like, "Excuse me? Why would you say that?" And I said, "Well, all of my parts were edited out." He was like, "Oh, you were so funny to edit, man. All of your jokes were great. They weren't gonna make it." And when I asked him why, he said, "You can't be funnier than the main actress." And that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, so that's how this life goes. So I kind of immediately jumped into, just like, okay, well, I'll just do auditioning for me. You know what I mean? I'll be myself now and not take it so seriously, not care about it in the way that I did at first. And so I started having fun. And every time you go into an audition or whatever, the casting directors sit there, arms folded, bad expressions, half drunken espresso, and they put that voodoo on you. They try to make you feel like you shouldn't be there. Like, we know we called you and your agent, but we totally hate you for coming. And so I used to make fun of them for doing that. And I still to this day make fun of them for doing that. And it wasn't malicious. It wasn't me trying to stick it to the man. It's just, I got sick of following the protocol, and so I started to do that. And in most rooms I would win people over. And what started happening is people started asking me like, "Well, hey, you know what, man? You're really funny. Like, I can't wait to see your stand-up act." And I was like, I don't do stand-up. What are you talking about? This is just me. They're like, "No, man, like, dude, you're hilarious. Where do you perform at?" And I don't perform anywhere. I'm trying to get a job. Hire me if you think I'm so funny. And it just wasn't happening. And so one day I was like, let me just do the stand-up thing. Let me just try it. Everybody keeps saying it. I must be pretty good already without even getting on stage. And so I go to open mic, and it's terrible. I do 5 minutes of the worst comedy known to man, and I bomb. Second time I go up, I bomb. Third time was even worse. Third time, I don't even think I finished the whole 5 minutes. And the fourth time, I met a couple comedians that were just as bad as I was, and they took me up to Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank. And I did their open mic at like 12:30 at night and crushed it. Full house, crushed it. I don't know how I did that, but I did. And then a guy saw me there, and he was like, "Hey, man, you should perform at the Comedy Store. We have a show that we do in the main room." I was like, "Sure." And I come in, I'm thinking like it's gonna be like 10 people, 15 people, and it's packed. There was some celebrity there that night that packed the house, but it was packed. And so I did, a longer set and totally killed it. And so at that moment, I was like, yo, this could really be something. This is something I should look into, because not everybody can do that. I don't smoke weed. Nobody ever claps for that. You guys all just look at me like, wow, really? What are you, Hebrew? It's like, no, I'm not Hebrew. I just have asthma. I didn't choose this life, it was chosen for me. You guys still don't care, it's fine. And so I kept going with it, and just 3 or 4 times a week, I'd go out, I'd do comedy, perform, and it got better. It got better and better, and more people started to kind of notice what I was doing. My social media stuff increased, more people started kind of following me on my journey, and so I just stuck with it to this very day. It's like, I think it's just what I find funny is why people like it so much. It's just, I'm a very awkward person, I'm very socially awkward, and I've spent the majority of my life pretending that I'm not. And I think we all do that in a little ways. Like, we're all very weird people, and I noticed that because how people laugh. The laugh is the immediate confirmation, like, yo, we're all crazy. And I just try to reveal that more. And the more I tried to hide it, the worse I was doing professionally. But the more I showed it, the better things have started to become. I'm an introvert, but I'm not good at it. I have to always find myself telling people that I can't be around them. Actually, that joke's really funny if you know what the word introvert means. It requires a dictionary. I was on season 4 of the Late Night Experiment as the bailiff, the one and only bailiff. And it was a fun time. It was a very good experience, and I enjoyed the cast and crew. A little limiting though. My only lines were "All please rise" and "Do you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth?" But I got, I had to, just to save my self-esteem, I had to whisper a couple things to the judge, a couple things to the other actresses, just to get my lines in. I'm pretty sure you cut them out though. But it was great. I had a fun time, man. So you should be watching the Late Night Experiment, not because it's a fun show, not because it's funny, not because it's entertaining, not even because there's all these great people like myself that are on it. You should watch it because it's a glimpse of the future. It's a great opportunity to see what the new talent is out there and to support it. So I hope you get a chance to watch the Late Night Experiment with Motown Maurice.
There once lived a man named Motown Maurice. His hair was tall and his ears were sleek. He's on a journey for late night TV. Subscribe and witness his story. Witness his story.